Baruch Hashem. Thank you so much, Rabbi Mark. I'll just put in the chat a couple things that might be helpful and new. There's a new Torah of Awakening podcast you can check out on YouTube and Spotify, which includes meditation that you can do on your own, as well as a Sunday service, which is the one day we don't have IGAS, right? Well, besides Shabbat. Hi, di, di. Hi, ya, nine, 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 nine. Hi, di, hi, di, di. Hi, di, ya, nine, 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 nine. Hi, hi, da, 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 da. Hi, lie, nine, 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 nine. Hi, da, da, nine, nine. Hi, da, nine, 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 nine. Hi, nine, nine, nine. For this Friday, the letter Resh, which represents the midah, the quality of awe, of amazement at the incomprehensible miracle of being, as well as the month of Adar, represented by the letter Tet, the shape of which points into itself, indicating the hidden goodness behind all things. And Rosh Chodesh, tomorrow night, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And so I'm seeing that as connected with this sphira of Yesod on the tree of life, joy, health of the body, and well-being. I'm going to share the screen, and we can do some kavanot for these three paths, as well as chant, which we'll come to as well. So, and body movements, poses rather. For the letter Tet, bringing palms together and the thumbs pointing inward toward the heart, indicating the hidden goodness of the essence of what we are. And we can chant the kavanah on the screen together. I am affirming. I am positive. I am goodness. Amen. And just seeing I need a letter I in that positive. We'll fix that later. The letter Resh. Pose for Resh, hands on the heart and bowing slightly in the shape of Resh, with the head looking up towards the heavens in awe and wonder, chanting, I am beholding, I am awe, I am wonder. And for Rosh Chodesh Yesod, you can bring your hands to the belly, feeling into the center of your being, Yesod, foundation of health and joy, and affirming, I am enjoying, I am joyful, I am joy. And our chant for Rosh Chodesh and the sphere of Yesod from Psalm 100, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, serve the divine with joy. Bo lefanav birnana, come before the presence with joyous song. When you're ready, when you get the sense of the melody, please sing along in your spaces. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, bo lefanav birnana, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, b'simcha bo lefanav bir na ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, b'simcha bo lefanav bir singing, feeling the vibrations in your body. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha bo lefanav bir na ivdu et Hashem b'simcha bo lefanav bir na ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, b'simcha bo lefanav bir na ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, b'simcha bo lefanav bir na. One more time before we come into meditation. Again, the point of chanting the words is more the feeling of the words in the body to help to bring you into a greater state of presence and prepare for meditation. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha bo lefanav bir na ivdu et Hashem b'simcha bo lefanav bir na ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, b'simcha bo lefanav bir na ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, b'simcha bo lefanav bir na. And letting your body be in a comfortable but alert position. Awareness falling down from the mind into the body. And bringing forth an attitude of offering attention from the heart, as you would offer your attention to someone you cared about who was speaking with you, or who you haven't seen in a long time. You haven't seen this moment ever before. New every moment, bringing your right hand to your heart and expressing this attitude of offering attention from the heart with lecha and a long out breath. Deep breath in. Lecha. And with your right hand still on your heart, bringing left hand to your belly. Feeling into your belly, awareness permeating your organs, bringing healing and gratitude to the body. Awareness flowing down through your hips, through your legs, all the way down to your feet. Rising up, chest and shoulders and neck, releasing any excess tension from your neck. You can lift your shoulders, move your head around a little bit. Awareness spilling down through your arms, hands hands and fingers. Taking a nice deep conscious breath, feeling the flow. Letting the sensation of the flow of the breath be more interesting than whatever thoughts are coming into the mind. Being more interested in this sensory awareness. Awareness rising, face, facial muscles, brain and nervous system. Bringing a little smile to your lips, being the loving, benevolent, indwelling presence in the temple of the body. And affirming with Na'aseh, deep breath in. And bringing right hand to your forehead, left hand on the belly, as awareness expands out from the body into the space around you. Noticing the feel of the room, the sounds vibrating in the air, and bringing to mind that the outer world as you perceive it right now is being perceived in the field of awareness, just as thoughts and feelings are being perceived within that field. This field of awareness has no shape, no boundary, no border, just a vast openness. And you are this openness at the deepest level, beyond the body, beyond thoughts and feelings. You are this vastness. V'nishma, deep breath in. V'nishma. Kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands, however is comfortable. Ribono Shel Olam, bless our practice today. Help us to remember moment to moment what our focus is, which I'm going to suggest is this tefillah, At Yahu, At Yahu. You who are not separate from anything we encounter, you who are not separate from this awareness we are, At Yahu, you are the divine. Chanting. At Yahu, 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 At Yahu. Resting in At Yahu, just on the mental level. As we sit in silent meditation for about 7 minutes. together, giving the body a stretch, and closing out with this chant from Psalm 111 for the letter Resh, awe and wonder. Reshit Chochma Yirat Hashem Sechel Tov Lechol Osehem Tehilato Omedet La'ad Reshit Chochma Yirat Hashem. One more time. Reshit Chochma Yirat Hashem Sechel Tov Lechol Osehem Tehilato Omedet La'ad Reshit Chochma Yirat Hashem. Last line. Reshit Chochma Yirat Hashem. And closing the meditation, bringing right hand to your heart, being the offering of presence with Lecha. Bringing left hand to your belly, feeling awareness, filling the temple of the body with consciousness. Na'aseh, Na'aseh. Bringing right hand to your forehead, opening to the world around you, being the open space of awareness itself. V'nishma, V'nishma. Kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands in this auspicious time of Rosh Chodesh and the nexus between Adar and Nisan. May all of these midot that we have invoked today be alive and available to us. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimru, Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Rabbi Brian. What a beautiful practice to bring us into Shabbat together. Friends, let's seal this practice by staying together for a few more moments and creating space for those of you who are in mourning, observing a yard site, or if it's your custom to join in the Kaddish, you're welcome to do so and to put the name or names of those you're honoring in the chat now or after you recite Kaddish. And if you're not reciting Kaddish, you have a role to play too by simply being present for those who are and supporting them with your compassion and support. And if you're joining me, please rise in body or in spirit. You can unmute at this time. Yitgadal, Yitgadash Shemei Rabba, Shema V'yach Yirtei V'yikon 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 V'kol Beit Yisrael V'hagala V'zman Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Olam Olamaya Yitbarach V'yitabach V'yihar V'yisei V'yihadar V'yitaled V'yitabal Shem V'kusha Ve'ela Mikol Birchata V'ata V'nechama V'ala V'yiru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba V'chayim Aleinu V'Yisrael Shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
And may all who are mourning be comforted among those who mourn. Thanks everyone for being here. I want to thank Susan Keener for sponsoring our sit today. Thank you so much, Susan, for sponsoring and dedicating today's practice in honor of Peter Fernald, we're grateful to you for that. And for those of you who are leaving now, I'm going to just give you the lineup of our teachers next week. Monday, which is Trans Day of Visibility, by the way, and also the day after Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Sarah Waxman about the well will be here to lead us. Allison Cohn on Tuesday. Sabrina Sojourner will be back on Wednesday. Iska Smith Thursday. And a week from today, Rabbi Shefa Gold will be here to lead us into Shabbat. So we look forward to that very much. For those of you who were not with us at the beginning, I mentioned the opportunity to join what we call our Rosh Chodesh community, which is a community of those who are supporting IJS on a monthly basis. Any amount is really wonderful. Won't go into the details, but perhaps Natalie, you can put the link to that for people who want to go and make a donation, set up a monthly donation. And I didn't mention at the outset, just a reminder that, of course, if you're not, you can always dedicate a sit on at IJS for a gift of $180. You're welcome to stay on, continue just to use this time to sit. You can turn off the sound on your device and just use the support of this container to continue to sit in silence, or you can join us for conversation with Rabbi Brian Yosef Schachter-Brooks. Share reflections on your experience today. Thanks again to Natalie for holding our space beautifully, as always. And let's bring Brian in here. Here we go. Okay. Hi, Brian.
Shalom. Thank you.
There is a source sheet. Brian, I don't know if we don't have the link yet to it, but Brian, can you upload it in the chat? If you click on the doc thing there, maybe you can
Oh,
upload it. People I
yeah.
know like
I think
that.
I can. I think I can do that right now.
Hmm. And I see a lot of appreciation in the chat for today's practice, which was really very settling and supportive. So there it go. There you go.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
PDF.
yeah. So there was a lot there, Brian. But I want to really what I'm taking, what I focused on today, and what I'm taking from it, um, was you lifting up yira, awe, wonder, with the letter resh. Um, I'm sorry, did you say what did you associate resh with? With Nissan or with Rosh Chodesh?
Actually, with Friday, so that's based
Oh,
on the
Friday.
Sefer
Okay.
Yetzirah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like it is worth unpacking that. And actually, if you have the last slide, you're right, the Reshit Chochmah, maybe if you can bring that up for a second,
Sure.
we can reflect on that for a minute. The line as you write from the morning liturgy. Let's see, it was there you go. From Psalm 111, Reshit Chochmah Yirat Adonai, the beginning of wisdom. Those is Yirat Yud-He Vav-He, Hashem. So that word yirah strikes me. It's usually translated as awe. You can take it down now if you don't mind. So
Okay.
to you. I want people to get distracted by it. The word yirah is often translated as awe. Sometimes it's translated as fear. And sometimes it's translated and understood as wonder. I think you're lifting it up as a sense of wonder. Um, and it kind of, I guess the reason that it landed with me was that it struck me that, you were um, leading us in a practice that's meant to promote a sense of awareness, starting with what's going on internally and then expanding outward.
Right.
Um, and that awareness is not like nihilistic, or and that's not maybe more the right word. It's not void of meaning, right? That there's wisdom in that awareness, and that the state of consciousness that, in some sense, we're trying to cultivate in these sits and in general is that state of wonder. Um, I read a wonderful poem today. Maybe I'll get a chance to put it in the chat. Some of you may know this contemporary mindfulness poet, James Cruz, who I'm a big admirer of him. He has a number of great anthologies. Shared a poem. His daily poem I got today was about holy ground. It basically was about finding holiness in in the mundane, which is another way of saying the same thing about like sort of growing an awareness of the sacred, right, in the moment. So I wanted to ask you, what's your understanding of that word ira? Wonder, and follow-up question, which anticipates, imagine, other questions people have, like in the state of the world that we're in right now. Um, how do we hold both? How do we hold a state of wonder when so many are feeling a sense of despair and hopelessness and ups or upset, etc.
Yeah, what a great
That ought to,
question.
that ought to keep us busy for a while.
I think it's a good question for Reish because I think Reish actually has implications for both of those things. So in the awe and wonder sense, this is really about state of consciousness. So it's not, in order to have any feelings about what's going on in the world, we have to engage our thinking minds unless we are in the middle of direct experience of something, which most of us usually are not. Like we're all sitting in our individual spaces. The stuff of the world is not coming into us right now. It only exists in our minds. So, so if we're really meditating, then we're taking a break from that.
Hmm.
And I think it's really important to do that. Just like just like you don't want to be awake all the time and never sleep, or constantly eat food, or never eat food. Like you have to oscillate between the different states that support life. And
Right.
so meditation is another dimension of that naturally happens to some degree for everybody, but by doing it intentionally, we can have a much greater not just health and well-being, but also our ability to think about things intelligently, which brings us to the second level. So the awe and wonder level has nothing to do with what's going on in the world. It has to do with coming into our present moment experience and letting go of the things that normally distract us from actually being conscious of what's in our present moment experience. Because I think with so much what I imagine is very disturbing for many people, certainly is for me, the many layers of what's of this historical moment that we're living in. It's possible to just have that color everything and to walk
Mhm.
around with all of that surus within us. And what a shame. Because we don't need to do that. We can respond. We can be very active and as effective as we can be without having to torture ourselves and make ourselves sick. So
Mhm.
so that's that. But then also there's a different dimension, I think, of this letter Resh and Yirah, which is recognizing the limitations of the thinking mind. So when we bring to mind what's going on in the world, we're not bringing together an accurate picture. We're bringing together a map, a virtual map within ourselves of the best we can do based on what we've heard, based on our prior conditioning, based on our preconceptions and beliefs, that we already have and so on. And that's all fine unless we equate that with like absolute truth, which of course is the root of all of the inability that we have to have genuine conversations. So we just project. I mean, I can't look at one, political or news thing or whatever that doesn't contain this. It's
Right.
ever present where you're looking at some things that are objective, but then you're overlaying on top of it all these other projections. And we just have to be more scientific, I think. The scientists are very not what's the word, sensationalistic. If you're being very scientific, you're not sensationalist. You're saying this may be this way based on what we see. There's evidence. Let's look further. Let's study this further and see where it brings us. So I think Reish is a great one of the 32 paths to contemplate for today.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about Raish too, because the other thing I appreciated when you invited us to make our bodies into a Raish and to look up.
Yeah,
It struck me also that, and I can't remember the phrase that you had there was behold.
yeah. I
Remember?
think I said behold. Yeah, I am
Behold,
beholding. Yeah,
behold, I am awe, I am wonder. Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
I am in awe. So it's kind of like the different forms of words. Like I am beholding as a verb. I am in awe is like an adjective, and I am wonder identifying actually with the state itself.
Right. Well, I guess you know, picking up what you just said a little bit earlier, like what I got from your answer to my question in part is that expansive state of wonder, which we might associate with kind of bliss, is actually we can integrate it into the rest of the tumult, shall we say, of daily life, which enables us to be responsive to it from a place of wisdom rather than reactive to it from a place of fear, etc. Right? And that's what we're striving. That's what we're striving for. We're not here to tune out or to escape from what's going on, or to bury our heads in the sands. We're here to be able to maintain perspective, and that's what I really liked about the looking up part of the race, which one could easily miss. Right? The
Right.
little twist at the end of the race.
Right.
It could just look like a curve. I love that because the looking up is really, in some ways, I think captures yira and wonder. Looking up at the sky, like I know for myself, Esa Inai Ahari, look up to the mountains, like look up, look at, don't, we wind up looking down and seeing all the schmutz down there. And if we look up, we say like, oh, it's so much bigger than this. Now I can look at the schmutz again.
Yes.
If we're just looking at the schmutz, and there's a great midrash about this crossing the Red Sea, right? About when if the Israelites were crossing the Red Sea, that Shimon and Ruvain, the Reubenites and Shimonites were like just looking at the mud and complaining and missing
Mm.
the whole miracle, right?
Mm.
That the looking up and also making a bow of wonder together at the same time. That's the thing that really struck me as so beautiful. Like to of both aspects of Yura, of kind of a submission to a greater reality, but also bearing witness and not being cowed and head down, but head up, looking up.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I wonder if other people had that reaction when sharing the chat. But go ahead, Frank.
Yeah. I to me the meaning of looking up is yeah, I think you said it beautifully. I mean, I think it's like it's a symbol. Like all the body movements that I do for the various letters are meant to do something physical in order to embody a certain inner realization. And it's the same thing with the chants. Like when we're chanting these words, or we're looking at the shape of the letters, or whatever the ritual practice is, it's creating the infrastructure for a certain state to arise. And we need both of those things. Like we need to have the infrastructure to be able to have a deeper spiritual realization or expression of consciousness, but we also then have to do the actual practice to get it. So I think the silent meditation together with the movements and the chanting
Mhm.
and so on helps to do that. The actually the just to mention, I did a podcast this week on the Parshat Pikudei, and the subject of that is talking about building the infrastructure to be able to hold these higher spiritual states.
Great. That's great. All
I'm
right,
just seeing
we're
like
at the
I'm just seeing people like asking about the scales and the music and stuff.
I know. I wanted to ask about that. So we'll have to say that for next time. Also,
Okay.
notice, I don't know if I missed you last time, but moving to the keyboard also,
Yeah.
like you want to hear more about that. But we're at time. So wishing you, it was beautiful. I think everyone really appreciated that. I know I did. So I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom out there. Wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom. I think the takeaway here is head up, keep your heads up, keep your chin up, right? Be a
Yeah.
reish.
Amen.
Let's keep our chins up as we head into Shabbat. Your podcast, Brian, is on your website, I assume. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I would just say if people there's a lot of questions in there, you can just contact me through the website. So TorahofAwakening.com.
Great. There you go. Thanks so much to Susan for sponsoring us today, and Natalie, as always, for holding us beautifully on Friday together. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Look forward to seeing you on Monday to
Shabbat
launch the new
Shalom.
month. Be well, everyone.